This episode is brought to you by the Colfax Avenue Business Improvement District. Looking for fun that's a little less fancy and a lot more Colfax? Even during VRT construction, your favorite street is bringing the vibes, food, fun, and unforgettable events. Show your love by visiting Colfax businesses or joining this spring for the Krabby for Colfax Seafood Boil fundraiser, the first annual Apothecary Tour, Big Wigs Bar Crawl, and the Colfax Avenue Community Cleanup. Support the places that make Denver, Denver. I mean, I love the people of Colfax. My favorite guy in a bathrobe, wig, cigar. So look, maybe I'll see him there. I'd love to see him there. That's what makes Colfax Colfax. You don't know who you're going to see. Colfax is always open, always authentic, and always worth the trip. Get all the event details and sign up at colfaxav.com. That's colfaxav.com. This episode is brought to you by the Regional Air Quality Council. Happy Air Quality Awareness Week! The biggest air quality issue in our mile-high summers is something called ground-level ozone. It's created from pollutants like car exhaust. You can't see it, you can't smell it, but it is the leading cause of respiratory problems like asthma. But good news, you can help. This summer, you can take steps for better air, like switching to electric lawn equipment, upgrading your car to an EV, working from home, or just choosing to walk, bike, or scooter instead of drive. Sign up for Summer Ozone text alerts to know when it matters most. Just text Better Air CO to 21000 or visit simplestepsbetterair.org. Again, just text Better Air CO to 21000 or visit simplestepsbetterair.org.
Today on CityCast Denver, you know how every time Charlie Brown steps up to the football, Lucy yanks it away at the last second? This week, that was President Trump yanking away a bunch of money from the city of Denver. So we're going to talk about it. Plus, the latest turmoil with First Friday on Santa Fe and all our wins and fails of the week. Today is Friday, May 2nd. I'm Paul Caroli, and here's what Denver's talking about. Welcome to CityCast Denver, the show about the state where last year, scammers stole more than $243 million, according to the FBI.
I want a breakdown of what the scams were. Like, was it just like the fake E470 tolls? Was it what is it?
I don't know.
I want an age breakdown, like who got took.
Yeah,
Definitely
I don't know.
my mom sent one of those like, you guys, I got this text about a toll. And we were like,
Oh, man.
All I think is President Trump needs to give it back.
Oh.
Well, wow. Coming in spicy.
Look, that's my take on that. I'm Paul Caroli. It's Friday. We're rounding up the biggest stories of the week. We're coming to you on video, as we do every Friday now, from the Dude IDK studios in beautiful 5 Points. Lovely weather today. A little bit chilly this morning, I thought, on my way
gorgeous.
in. But nice. A brisk bike ride over here.
You biked over here?
I did, yeah. I'm
you
loving
don't gotta lie to kick it, Paul. Like
what?
He just lives downtown in his dorm.
I'm living my downtown life right now.
You're living your downtown.
Yeah,
He's living the
around.
downtown lifestyle.
I thought you lived in Virginia Village.
Normally, but
His house is being remodeled.
Yeah, long story. I'm surprised we haven't talked about it.
Oh, so you're back in you're like a grad student now.
Sort of.
Yeah,
it's me
sort of
and a bunch of
cosplaying.
22-year-olds just out of college whose parents are paying for them to stay in nice studio apartments downtown by Union Station.
And you fit right in.
Oh, no, not at all. And I'm hating it, actually. They just put in a new coffee machine. I was telling Bree about this, but they put in a new coffee machine in the building. This is one of their signature amenities. Free coffee. Free coffee.
Great. I love free coffee.
Me too. I was abusing it, honestly. But then they changed the way they do it, and they put in this machine. And so you have to scan a QR code to order your coffee to get it to dispense. And then you just put a cup in. And the Wi-Fi has been spotty. So I can't get coffee. I can't get my coffee because the Wi-Fi is down.
Hey, this is non-negotiable. All right, this free coffee.
This
Coffee
is why
tastes
we
better.
need 7-Elevens.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Hey, I mean, just right outside. Yeah, 7-Elevens are Denver's bodegas, which is what it is, you know.
100%.
Yeah. Fortunately, coffee is available other places, and I've been making do.
I'm glad.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Sounds hard.
You've heard her voice. Bree Davies is with me as usual. Hey, Bree.
Hi.
Have you ever been scammed?
Oh, I'm sure. The one I remember the most was I was in Berkeley when I was 16. And I was walking down the street and this person was like, do you want to donate for AIDS research? And they were just giving out red ribbons and they were just literally, and I remember being like, that person is not working on AIDS research. And
I love the chutzpah of just being out on the corner, like saying you're raising money for a cause, but just like the cause is
bought
you.
it. There used to be a guy downtown. Everybody knew he was dressed as a priest, and he would go, "Would you like to make a donation?" And you'd give him money. It was just like to give him money.
Yeah,
He wasn't really no church involved.
I'm out here raising money for the Paul Foundation, just to support Paul.
All the Pauls of the world.
All the Pauls in the world. One in particular, you know.
Yeah.
Well, your brother's slogan.
That's a grift, all right? And I like a good grift, okay? Because you need a little bit of charisma. You need the chutzpah, you know? Like, there's like real humanity in somebody grifting you, you know what I mean? They're getting one over you, and it's on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's humanity in that?
I think so. I don't know. It reminds me of Aladdin. You know?
It's a way of connecting with people, of relating to other people.
Getting scammed.
There's a loneliness epidemic happening right now.
Go get scammed.
Get yourself scammed.
Find yourself a scammer.
They're charming.
We're
so charming.
We have one of our favorite regular guests with us today. He's a stand-up comedian. He's our man in Casa Bonita.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome, Joshua Emerson, back to the show.
Sounds super attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear you say that.
Yeah, he's
going to cut it out later. It's fine, whatever. Hi, guys. Welcome. Hi, Paul.
I'll make sure we leave it in.
Good.
Joshua, you and I were chatting about this, but I think the listeners would appreciate an update on the Casa Bonita Performers Union that you helped organize. Where are y'all at?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we've officially started meeting with Casa Bonita and started putting proposals across the table. And so basically what this means is that we're at the very beginning of negotiations, but negotiations have officially started. And so we still got several months of this in terms of pushing stuff across the table based on priority, them sort of taking it, asking any questions, and then a counter offering maybe, or and then we get the counter offer, we see it, and then we'll do a lot of counter offering going along.
A lot of pushing a paper back and forth on a long table.
A lot of me being silent in a meeting for 8 hours. So a lot of me just being quiet, being a good little boy. Yeah. I'm just like, all right.
You're not in there playing hardball, slamming your fist.
Not yet. And because it's
you should come in a suit next time and really throw them off.
We all came in our Casa Bonita United hoodies the last time.
Nice.
But yeah, Sue, and I want the truth, you know?
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
So before we get to the show, we have a little bit of business. Today is the last day of our spring membership campaign.
The very last day. This is the last day we will bug you about it. But that also means it's the last day to get a neighbor's mug if you sign up.
Mm-hmm.
And we really, really want you to sign up. It helps us so much. Community-supported media is the future.
It's been so amazing to see how many people have supported us. Just to see that people like recognize the value of what we're doing. People who feel like they want local news from real locals. That's us. You know, you can see us, you can hear us every day. You can tell we're living in the same city you are, and we're doing our best to figure out what's going on to provide a service. People feel connected to their communities. People feel like they're getting the inside scoop on Denver. I mean, we're seeing the comments. People get this. And if you do too, you can sign up right now at membership.citycast.fm. We are really, really close to hitting our goal for this campaign. And I want to do it. I think we can do it. And I think you should help.
And we've talked about it before, but something that we do is every weekday morning before we sit down to make a show, we talk about what do we think is the biggest story of the day? What is the most important thing, not only to us, but what we think you all are talking about? And that's what goes into every episode is we're really thinking about not our own just our own point of views, but what else is affecting folks in the city? What are people really thinking about and talking about and care about and want us to find out more about?
For example, earlier this week, we noticed that this new proposal to build a huge soccer stadium for the professional women's soccer team was going through city council and going through the mayor with basically no questions being asked, no opposition at all. No one is talking about what does economic impact mean. So what did we do?
Why are we ponying up $70 million as taxpayers?
Yeah, so we found an expert who actually knows this stuff, has been doing the research, has the data, has the receipts. We talked to him for 20 minutes. I thought it was a great episode. Changed the way I was thinking about it.
And I love that he was like, no one else has reached out to me.
Yeah.
So, and Paul found him and was like, we want to talk to this guy. And if you haven't listened to that episode, I learned a lot as well.
Same,
He's amazing.
Same. I want to have him back on the show. I mean, we got a lot of stadium projects going on.
I mean, it's real journalism about the stories that affect us every day, as Denverites. I've been a member for over a year now. I got a little tote bag right over there. I have the ad-free
there you go.
Spotify. I figured out how to get it back into my feed.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, the ad-free feed. You get the mug now. You get the member events. We're doing this dog poop pickup and ice cream day. We're planning that soon. Members will get to know when we're doing that, so they can meet us there and have a fun afternoon.
You get to hang
us.
out with us.
Oh man, dog poop pickup. That should be our bands. You know
dog
what I mean?
Poop pickup.
Yeah.
And then we're having ice cream after. Poop and scoop.
Poop and
Olivia's
scoop.
idea.
Poop and scoop. That was yours?
Yeah.
Hey, can we just make some noise for Liv? Come on. That's
a good idea.
She's a branding genius.
I got a nice DM from our CEO yesterday morning when that went out. He was like, whose idea was this? This is a great idea.
It's funny because it was his idea. You know what I mean?
A little
when
bit.
you go all the way back.
A little bit. Yeah. Anyway, $10 a month. It's your last chance. Help us hit our goal. Go to membership.citycast.fm today. Membership.citycast.fm.
Thank you.
Let's get to the news. I talked about it earlier. Money trouble. The city's got it. President Trump yanked back this $24 million that FEMA had promised us, that Denver had been spending on sheltering newcomers from Central and South America from 2022 to 2024. Now we're not going to have that money. And it seems like they might want to take even more money that we already spent back, $8 million more. And all this comes on top of already a pretty tough financial situation for the city. The city council got a presentation from the Department of Finance that we're going to talk about as well. But I mean, generally, Bree, time to tighten our belts.
I mean, we were kind of already seeing this last year. Remember when they were cutting the flower bed budgets? Like, I know that it seems like kind of silly in retrospect, but like those are parts of our city that are important. We talked about it at the time, but we were already feeling it. And then I feel like if we aren't already tightening, we should be, because I know the reserve, they have like a amount of, they like to have in savings as well, sort of as backup, and that money is down as well. So yeah, for sure.
Joshua, what do you think this matters to Denverites? We pay attention every day, so we feel this acutely.
Yeah, just to go to your point, it went from a 108 deficit but to an $8 million deficit when it came to the budget. So there was just $100 million taken out of the budget, which is you could feel that all the way around. I remember you complaining about how high the grass was at all the city parks, around. That was a big issue for you. And that was you really don't?
No.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess you complained about so many things, but
every day I've got a new thing I'm complaining about.
Yeah, this one is extra frustrating because it's a grant that was already awarded. It was services already distributed. It was reporting already done. It takes even just one. It takes a lot just to do the thing, but then to get evidence of that and report on that takes a whole nother extra step. They did all of that, and then to be rejected at the right at the finish line. It sucks. It really feels it feels like an overstepping by the federal government, that this isn't like opportunities that they're taking away. These are opportunities that have already been secured and followed through on, that they're then trying to just not follow through on their aspect of it.
It is. I mean, if you think about it as a relationship between a city government and a federal government, like it feels like a betrayal, but I think we know why it's happening, right? It's President Trump. He has a new policy on immigration.
Right.
He doesn't like the way Denver's handling it. He's trying to reshape the country in his image. I mean, this is what they said when they explained. They sent a letter, I guess, to the city earlier this month. They were like, President Trump's direction on immigration to advance the essential mission of enforcing immigration clause, blah, 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 securing the border. Like, we know this is what he wants. And he signed an executive order earlier this week as well that was saying there are more cuts coming to sanctuary jurisdictions.
I was going to say this.
Unquote.
The sanctuary part of it too is like, our mayor just went to DC to defend that. He's not stepping back. You know what I mean? He's not backing down anytime soon.
But I think that's the tension, is like, when are the cuts going to get big enough that our leaders might start to feel some pressure? And how is that going to look?
I want them to continue to fight. I mean, this is the best time, the most important time to continue to push back against this administration, hold them accountable for commitments that they already made. This isn't like new money coming in. This is money that was already earned. The whole system is built around making sure that we honor these systems. It's so important to not let things slide, to try to like be scared in this moment. This is the time to be brave. This is the only time to be brave because it's the scariest time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think this is what we've heard from our elected officials so far is they're not budging. Like so far, what the threats that Trump has tried to put on Denver to change the policies haven't been effective. But what I'm thinking about is the point where they start cutting more and more and more and more. And let's say the city has to cut really essential services. Like what happens when there's giant piles of trash
That's what I'm
out
thinking.
on the street?
That's exactly
Sure.
What
what I was
happens when
thinking
there's
about.
I mean, 911 wait times are already long. What
Yeah.
happens if you can't get a police officer to show up to your shop that just got robbed? Like, what is the point at which the city actually starts to think, well, maybe we should just give in because we need to do the basics?
I believe in Denver as an economy over the long term. And so there's the sense of, do you increase the debt obligation of the city, like going forward, like put out more bonds, have the citizens sort of opt in, or just the market opt in terms of like meeting that budget shortfall? I don't know.
Isn't there a bond on deck, Vibrant Denver? But I don't know
Yeah.
how that plays into the general fund. So, I mean, I'm also just thinking about Councilman Flynn's criticism that there's been a lack of transparency around what the actual deficit is. But
Yeah.
I think the administration has promised that by sometime this month. So,
Yeah, when Aurora's getting
just
in.
understanding the scope of it.
Well, the specifics I saw was sales tax revenue specifically
Right.
is down a lot. I mean, now we're getting to just the city budget piece. Sales tax revenue accounts for more than half of the annual budget for the city. They made this presentation because they're starting to plan for 2026. And what they said was projections are down $40 million this year. And sales tax revenues last year were already flat. So we're seeing probably flat, if not down again this year. And that's sales tax from like everything you buy. That's the vitality of our businesses. That's restaurants whining downtown. This is the impact on the city.
It'll almost certainly be down just because that's how people react to a coming recession, is that they'll tighten up and stop going out as much, stop eating as much,
Yeah.
I've just seen people talking about stocking up on things that will be affected by tariffs and stuff like that, which isn't necessarily stuff you're maybe buying directly in the local economy.
Probably some. I mean, you're not going to go out to as many nice dinners. You're going to buy Avalanche jerseys and
there's another part of this,
and
though, that this isn't forever either. And the other part of a recession is that the come out of it, there's opportunity to, again, when everybody is coming out of it all together, and there's a lot more spending at the end of the recession. And so the murky times, like there's going to be some pain coming, and we haven't fully experienced yet that, and it's not going to be great. And then there'll be a point when it feels just like with COVID, or just like in 2008, there'll be a point where it feels like you're coming out of it, and then you'll start to see growth again, like spring. But
in the meantime,
I know. Yeah.
Just thinking about how hard 2008 was.
Yeah. In the meantime, I don't know. I mean, we can see already our leaders are changing the way they think about running the city and regulations and business.
Priorities.
I mean, in the last few weeks, we talked about Mayor Johnston. He opened this new permitting office, the whole point of which is to make it easier to build, to renovate businesses, to open new businesses. We've also seen him increase security downtown as a response to downtown businesses who are struggling and asking for more help and more support. So we're seeing that. Do you all think we're going to see more of that from the city? More of that, like, opening for business, maybe lifting regulations?
I don't know, because I also think about that takes work and staff and like restructuring and things like that. So I guess it depends on where they want to put their priorities. Because again, if we're just looking at a big shortage of money, they're going to be trying to fix other stuff like the trash, like you said, and our parks and things like that. So I don't know. I mean, those seem, I think maybe it's also a wait and see how those things work. Like, does the change in permitting actually start pushing development faster? We don't know yet.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird timing with the tariffs and the recession, the uncertainty.
And
Yeah,
like the
Joshua.
housing stock has been as flooded as it's ever been, in the past 10 years, almost stagnant in terms of like people actually purchasing houses. Tourism, especially international tourism, is down. That affects Colorado a little bit, just in terms of both the ski industry, but just that we have these mountains that people do want to go see. Just people are choosing to go other places because they don't appreciate this administration on an international scale right now, and they prefer that to spend their tourism dollars someplace else. And it'll, like, this will hurt their world economy a little bit, but they're going to have less of the effects because they're already making relationships with each other without the United States. And so I don't think the recession is going to hit the UK as hard, or even hit Canada as hard as it is in the United States. This is what people voted for.
Speaking of votes, that's what I got my eye on, is the next time we're going to take the temperature of Denverites on this question is going to be November. There's already a ballot measure that's going to be in front of Denverites on this flavored tobacco ban, which business owners say has hurt them because they can't sell flavored tobacco. So that means less sales tax revenue for the city. But the city council and the mayor approved this ban last year. So here we are in November, we're going to have this chance as voters to say, do we want to make it easier for businesses, or do we like this regulation that maybe like upholds our values and morality in a certain way? I don't know. What do you think what Denverites are going to do about that?
Well, that was the main push of the ban, was to keep it out of the hands of kids. That's like kind of a hard thing to push back against, but I want to be able to sell it, I don't know. I lived through this as a teenager who, when I was smoking at 14, you could still have billboards with cartoon camels on them. Like, stuff changes. So I would be curious how folks feel about
and
this.
A cool camel too. I mean, with the leather jacket with the white tee underneath. That's a cool guy.
I guess. I don't know.
The Marlboro Man, you think he's cool too?
Well, he's a colonizer, so no.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
His ranch is on my, ancestors' land. Yeah.
All right. Well, listeners, we want to hear from you too. How do you feel about the Trump administration's attempt to push Denver around? And do you want to see changes, or should Denver stand strong? 720-500-5418. Call in, leave a message, send a text. 720-500-5418. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk about First Friday on Santa Fe.
This episode is brought to you by Aura Frames. What does your mom want for Mother's Day? Well, my mom always just wants pictures of her kids, all together, with her grandkids. And this is a tall order because we don't all live in the same place. So I hate to spoil this for you, Brooke, because I know you're listening, but you're getting an Aura digital picture frame for Mother's Day, which is coming up soon, like May 11th. So don't forget. Aura Frames was named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter and featured in 495 gift guides last year. So next time you need to call your mom, you can also send her a new pic of you from that trip you've been telling her all about, right from your phone. I think the only picture my mom has of all of us together is at Casa Bonita. It's the only time maybe all of us were together. Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day, too. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver mat frame. That's auraframes.com. Use promo code CityCast. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're back. One more time.
Well, no, we'll have another time probably.
Second to last time. And then you're going to not hear about it for a while. Spring membership campaign. This is your last chance to sign up and help us meet our goal. And we are so close.
We're so close. And it's $10 a month or $100 a year. That's like, what? I don't know. Can you get a sandwich for $10? This is what I was trying to figure out yesterday. It's a pretty good deal.
I mean, you can get some sandwiches.
Yeah.
Maybe
Subway
not great
sandwich.
ones. Subway sandwich?
Yeah. No free
But for the
plugs.
price of one of the sandwiches, you could get us.
Oh, I was at
That's a
Jimmy
month.
John's yesterday. I got a sandwich. It was horrible. I haven't been at Jimmy John's in so long. It was probably $15. It was disgusting.
Olivia's shaking her head off
Jimmy
camera.
John's doesn't deserve to wipe the dirt off of Jersey Mike's shoes.
That's
Jersey
fair.
Mike's is the man. But neither of them are as good as a CityCast Denver membership. Become a neighbor today. You don't need any of
$10.
these sandwiches.
Support us complaining about sandwiches.
What a old man take. That's
Am I wrong, listeners? Jersey Mike's is the man. He is the guy.
Oh my God.
He is the
Andy
guy.
Rooney.
Although he just got bought by a big private hedge fund. So I'm worried.
Oh, good. The
I'm
quality
worried.
will definitely go down, and then there won't be any employees in there if it's like any other hedge fund purchased
Yep.
thing.
You never know when that kind of thing
But-
happens. Fortunately, that's why this membership campaign is so special, because you get a chance to
Support
have
us.
your own stake in the media that you consume and that you rely on.
Yes.
If you become a member, we are less reliant on advertisers. Like you get to have a stake in it, and we care about what you think. Like
Yeah.
we ask every day, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And it guides how we cover stories and what we talk about every day. It really matters.
and one random member is going to be selected, and Paul's going to buy you Jersey Mike's. So that's pretty cool. I feel like
Maybe.
you should.
Wow.
We are
that's really
doing new-
generous. Two? You want to do it for two people?
Oh my God.
Oh.
Are you turning
We are
into an
doing-
auctioneer?
We are doing members meetups though, and we are going to have opportunities to get together with members and have hang out, meet each other, talk, and maybe we'll do one at Jersey Mike's. Maybe we'll do one at a cool local
Maybe
sandwich
I was
shop
like,
that we
maybe we'll
love.
pick a local sandwich shop. Maybe we'll go to a Snarf's or
Curtis Park Deli.
Curtis
would be my
right
fave.
down the street. But help us make that happen.
Help us join now. We are so close. Membership.citycast.fm. You get to come to the members only events. You get the ad-free podcast feed, which doesn't have any of the Podroll episodes on it. I know that bothers some people. If you don't want those,
Sign up.
sign up, get the ad-free feed. And you also get that cool mug, that cool diner style
So cute.
CityCast Denver Neighbors mug. Membership.citycast.fm.
Diner style? Is that a type of mug?
You know, the classic coffee mug from
Oh.
a diner.
Like
Okay.
a little
Like
thicker,
smaller.
The shiny-
thicker walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very cute. It's
Kind of got
a
that
70s
hourglass.
font.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
That's what I want out of my mug. I
Yeah.
want it to
Well, if you
be like a Victorian lady.
just sign up again, I guess. Make your fiance sign up. Then you
Yeah.
can get a mug.
Yeah.
I may or may not be pressuring you to do that right now.
Yeah, she doesn't like my content. You know what I mean? That's one of the things where
Oh,
like she's not a fan of my comedy, or she's actually kind of my biggest hater. That's actually what attracted
That's
me
what
in the
drives
first.
you?
Well, it attracted me to it in the first place. It's like, oh, you don't. Okay, I'm gonna be around. I'm gonna get you.
I like that approach. I like that approach.
all right. Well, join right now at membership.citycast.fm. Support the local news and community that you rely on. Let's get to our hot topic of the day. It's a really, really juicy one. Earlier this year is when we first heard inklings of trouble brewing on Santa Fe Drive around First Friday. The story at the time was that the big First Friday Art Walk in August might not be able to shut down the street to cars. But now we have new details, a new report from Westward this week about even more turmoil. There's changes in how the First Friday Art Walk is going to look and feel this year. But I thought we might just start generally. Do you care about this event? Do you go to it?
I love
do you
it.
love it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
the best,
it.
right? When I
It's-
first moved to Denver, it was like one of those things that was like special and cool about this place.
Yeah, I've been into like different stores like have like secret upstairs that I'd never seen before, and I remember going to a show during an art walk, but also like seeing friends art out. I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff happening there, and also it's the first art district in the state. I mean, it's
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually talked to my friend last night who worked for the district for a long time, and by worked I mean volunteered, because we'll get to that as part of the issue.
Oh,
But
really?
but yeah, it was the first of its kind. So it's the OG of the art walks.
Yeah, Su Teatro's right there, and for like brown people like learning how to act or even just acting, like that's the OG place. That's where most of like the OG brown actors sort of came out of there. So yeah, I love it a lot. And also I just like I like places where you can see people like that you live around all coming out at once. There's something about getting lost in a crowd, especially people that are art lovers, that it makes me feel comfortable. You know, and it makes me feel like this is a city that I can continue to live in and thrive in.
Well, anyway, the latest trouble was it really started on April 1st, according to this Westward article. The Art District on Santa Fe, which puts on this First Friday event, posted to Instagram some new rules for vendors. They said, within the past few years, we've experienced challenging situations related to foot and vehicle traffic, inaccessible sidewalks, illegal vending practices, and more. To stand by our motto of art for all and to foster a safe space for patrons, the ADSF will be implementing a new vending system. And that means vendors have to register in advance and pay a $50 fee per spot per night. They're also closing side streets where some of the vendor locations are going to be. And then traffic control support, which I don't know what that means or what that's going to feel like on Friday night. Why do you think this has been so controversial, Brie?
I mean, why it's been so controversial. It depends on who you talk to be honest with you. Like I talked to my friend last night that ran this for quite a long time. And so there's the art district and the bid. Those are separate entities.
The Business Improvement District.
Yes. And the art district puts on the actual the event. But they don't I think they have one staff person who they interviewed who's full-time. And that's new in the last couple of years. The district didn't have any employees before. And so imagine putting on a giant event where the parts of the street are closed off and you don't actually have staff. Like, this has been growing and growing, which is beautiful. You know, it came out of this organic thing that was happening, but it's gotten so big and they just don't have the infrastructure to run it. And that's part of the struggle. It's like, these were the solutions that they came up with to make it safer. Because my friend said, yes, absolutely. Having the vendors on Santa Fe is dangerous. She was like, we were constantly fighting with this. It wasn't just that it was ADA inaccessible. It was inaccessible for everybody. And so she was like pushing it to the side streets, which in the article was kind of framed as like a bad thing, or at least the artist that they talked to was like, we're being pushed out. She was like, this is a great solution. It's just off the main strip. A lot of the businesses off the main strip have for a long time complained that they don't get enough of the traffic themselves. So this is kind of, she felt like it was a win-win for everybody. She's like, it'll make it safer and it might actually increase the flow of foot traffic to other businesses. So I think this was a solution to come up with, they had to come up with something to deal with the fact that this is very popular. The other struggle, she said, the city will never shut down Santa Fe. They do it once a year. They will not do it anymore. She's like, we fought and fought and fought, but it is a highway technically, and it's harder to get it shut down. There's a lot of points of entry, she said. So it makes it more complicated traffic-wise, moving traffic flow. It's just impossible. So that's part of the reason they're having to, move on to opening up side streets and things like that, because they're not going to be able to get the street shut down every Friday.
Well, some people certainly feel like this is, the quote from Dave Rogman at Abstract Denver, who's just a shop on Santa Fe, is, he says that this sort of like DIY vendor pop-up that's gotten bigger in the last couple of years, which is another interesting piece of this. I guess it's been like the non-licensed vendor situation has gotten more wild and busy. And he says it's been great for his business and that this change to him feels like a, quote, cash grab. A cash grab.
$50?
$50. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you see that side of things, Joshua?
Well, there's the other quote talking about like how this feels like it's pushed by like capitalism and narcissism. And I thought that was interesting, which makes me think like it seems like it's a good solution, but it wasn't like a community oriented solution. I guess was there community feedback? And when it comes to artists, there is a sense of pushing against systems, or at least just not adhering to systems just as a default. And the artists are what make it cool. The businesses are great. They're also a part of making it cool, and the people actually coming to show up and to either purchase stuff or see stuff. They're all part of the solution, but it is sort of this like. I mean, I'm sympathetic to people that are negatively affected by the new rules. I am also sympathetic to like one full-time employee and then a bunch of volunteers all trying to put on this historic thing once a month.
Teeny budget, a minuscule budget.
And it really feels like it's a great opportunity for the city of Denver to come in and support this by shutting down the streets and creating more space. Because you can literally create more space by start including the entire road, and then you can bring in like food vendors and other like food trucks and make it even a bigger event. I guess where I'm at is it's great, it's historic. Let's build it for the long term, and there's a reason why people are complaining, I guess, and there's a reason why there's a change made, and so yeah.
The thing about the streets getting shut down is interesting because it sounds like that's where the bid comes into things. And I don't really understand the bid here because the city, the Westward article says that they requested a comment from the bid and the bid never got back to them. And the city says they're happy to shut down the streets one day, but they haven't gotten the permit request yet. And back in January, when Denverite reported on this, they said they needed to have the permit request in by May, which is now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to get shut down at all this year. And I don't know who's responsible for that. I don't understand what happened there.
Why is it so complicated?
Yeah, why not just put in the permit?
Yeah. Can I just for 1 second, I do not like the city of Denver's Department of Transportation. Like, I don't like the fact that they give out so many tickets. I don't like the fact that they give out tickets in giant Jeep cars. That don't make no sense to me. What do you need 4-wheel drive to give me a ticket? I don't understand. We're on a street. I don't know. Sorry.
What kind of vehicle would you like to get a ticket from?
No, Corolla. All right. Like God intended. Like
Corolla. All right. Well, okay.
Joshua's
gripe of the week.
It's just so frustrating to be like, where are you going after this, man? Like, you're going to give me a ticket and then you're going to drive to Red
Jurassic
Rocks?
Park.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why they need the 4-wheel drive. Get away from the T-Rex.
Yeah. This is just another way that the Department of Transportation is ruining the city of Denver.
Bree, what do you think about that? We've talked about this all the time.
About what?
About the Department of Transportation and the shutting down the streets.
Well, also my friend said they have to reroute RTD. Like, it's not that simple. So I see where the city is pushing back. However, I don't know. What I'm seeing is a very small organization or two very small organizations trying to do the best they can by the right of the community. And they're like, we can't make the city do something that they don't want us to do. It's expensive. It requires barricades, police, rerouting of traffic, like someone to run that traffic. Like, I get why it's so complicated. Also, on the cash grab part of it, so they're requiring a $50 fee.
Mm-hmm.
That's
for artists to pay for the vending spots.
That can be tough for some artists for sure. The $55 permit or the $55 insurance cost on top of that is required by the city. That's not required by the district. So they're just letting them know, like, if we want to do this, you have to pay for your own insurance because we're not running this whole thing ourselves. So I feel like the art district and the bid are in a weird place where they don't have a lot of manpower. They don't have a lot of money. They have a popular event and they just don't have the infrastructure or the help to make it work. And they're getting a lot of pressure to make it perfect. And I can't imagine putting on an event without a staff. That's really tough. And my friend also said, you can't just talk to one business owner. There's a lot of business owners out there that also don't love the vending. Some love it, some don't. Mm-hmm. And that's a complicated part of it as well.
Yeah, the ADSF said at one point there were vendors getting into altercations with local business owners. But anyway, here I had a couple ideas. Big ideas, solutions. Just pitching some solutions out here for the First Friday people. Someone's got to pay for this, right? That's what I see. This thing is growing, 10,000 people in August. Yeah. Someone's got to pay. Artists don't want to pay $50 for vending fees. What if it was a ticketed event? What if you paid $5 as an attendee to get past the fence to go into First Friday? Would you all pay?
Yeah.
That's 10,000 people, $5.
I would go less, but I'd pay when I went. Yeah.
I think if I was if they were clear in their messaging, this is what you're paying for. We need help to keep this going.
Yeah.
I would absolutely buy into that because I do believe at the heart of it, like, these folks care. They want it to continue. But when you have no budget and no people, I kind of don't know what I would do either.
Well, it's like a struggle with your mission and the challenge of growth. Like, change is inevitable. You have to grow.
You have
to change when you grow. Like, if you want this thing to stick around, it kind of has to keep growing because people love it. And so you have to maybe accept some of the evils of capitalism into your system.
I don't think that's an issue necessarily, the capitalism part of it. I just think it's like, there's not even someone there to organize the capital campaign, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's a tough thing to get.
Well, they could hire someone and they could run that campaign.
With what money?
With the money that they could get from these many droves of people that show up and the vendors that desperately want to be there. All of that interest and demand could convert into dollars.
What I'm understanding too from this situation is, as it's the oldest art district in the state, it's also, the bid came after. After that, most bids and the nonprofit arm of a district came together. Rhino's that way. That's how they have money circulating. Is the bid is the one that collects the taxes. Then that goes into the nonprofit. So I think they could use a restructuring to help them figure out how to make the money work a little bit better. But I know that my friend just expressed to me, that's just part of the struggle is we were the oldest one. Our infrastructure is maybe not as up to date as some other districts.
I would also be curious to see how much corporate sponsorship Rhino Art District's First Friday gets versus Santa Fe's, because you say what you want about Rhino, they understand how to just generate revenue before anybody walks into their event. Like they're already starting on that, building those relationships, and that's part of it, I guess. Now, when you talk about art, is relationships with people that want to buy the coolness of art as a part of their brand. You know what I mean? Like, and there are companies that want to do that here in Denver to really put that messaging out there. And is Santa Fe missing those opportunities to capitalize on that want?
I mean, I get the hesitation because you love what it was. People
Right.
seem to love the wildness of like being able to show up and just put out a blanket and say, I made this art, sell it. I get that. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm going this Friday. I hope it's cool. I wonder if there's still protests outside Drip Coffee.
Yeah, I haven't
It's been
heard or
years.
seen anything.
I'll let y'all know. Anyway, we're going to go to another break. We want to know what you think about First Friday. What, if anything, should be done? 720-500-5418 is the number to call. Text, voicemail, anything you want. 720-500-5418. We're listening. One more break, then wins and fails.
Hey CityCast, something I appreciate about the Cozy Earth Mother's Day sale is that they know motherhood looks different on everyone. So whether you're raising kids, dogs, or Kane, all moms work hard and they deserve comfort. So let me tell you about these Cozy Earth sheets. They feel like cool water in a sort of, is this the Ritz-Carlton or my own bedroom kind of way. The pajamas are what I imagine celebrity moms sleep in, buttery soft. You're looking for the right gift because the women who raised you feel like home. And they are going to love Cozy Earth bamboo pajamas, and I know this because it's 3:24 p.m. and I'm still wearing mine. To celebrate moms everywhere, Cozy Earth is supporting your favorite local podcast and giving our listeners a special promo. 45% off site-wide. This is a luxury brand, and that is a mind-blowing deal. Use Cozy Denver to take advantage of 45% off at CozyEarth.com.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Not everyone is careful with your personal information, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the U.S. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. If your identity is stolen, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year by visiting lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
All right, we're back. It's time for the best way to end the week. Rocky Mountain highs and lows, aka our wins and fails of the week. Each of us brought a recent local something. Highs and lows. Each of us brought a recent local something that we think is a win, another we think is a fail, and we're going to talk about them. Fails first. Bree.
It's a low, I guess. The hairstylist Jax Grattan is still missing. This has been almost 2 weeks. Her family and her friends are super worried about her. I think the underlying part of the story is Jax is a trans woman, and folks of the trans community are definitely more prone to violence and things like this. And I think there's just a concern of what's going on and where she is. And I feel so much for her family and friends and for her. And I hope they can find her or at least get some more information, because there's just been nothing over the last 2 weeks. She was just, she finished up an appointment and no one ever heard from her again.
Yeah, that's a really tough one. I've been seeing the posters all over the place.
We can put information in the show notes if you know anything, but gosh, I just hope that we can find something out or hopefully find her.
Joshua, how about you? What's your fail this week?
My fail this week is the City of Denver's Department of Transportation. I just don't understand.
We're gonna get comments.
I I come from Arizona. I grew up in Arizona. We have our driver's license. They don't expire until you turn 65. And we also have registrations that are more than 2 years or whatever they are here in Colorado. And the street sweeping, and it's different. And and the Jeeps.
And you want to hit the bollards? Those bollards, huh? I
Yeah.
love those bollards.
Anyways, I don't think the department needs to exist. No, that's a bad take. I just have been frustrated with the department as of late.
What got this in your head? What got the bug in your head about Dottie?
I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. I hear you.
No, it's nothing. I got a ticket.
Do you drive a car?
Do I drive a car? I've been driving stick since I was 14 years old.
No, I mean, I guess I didn't know. I always thought you like took Ubers and stuff.
No, I date white women too, and so I'll drive their cars.
Oh yeah,
That's
Mhm.
as is
my
tradition.
husband also did that same
Yeah.
thing.
All right. Well, my fail this week is I'm a fan of the Kroenke Sports and Entertainment Company and all of their sports products.
Go Arsenal. Let's go Gunners.
All of them. Look, the Avs and the Nuggets are in the playoffs. They might not be by the time people hear this, but I'm a fan of all the products except for Altitude Plus.
Oh.
I signed up for Altitude Plus, which was their new direct-to-consumer streaming service, which you have to get to watch the games because they're blacked out on national broadcasts. I signed up for this after they were offering a 3-day free trial, a piddly 3-day free trial, and now I'm paying $20 a month. And the Avalanche specifically, my fail goes to these people who are announcing the games.
Ooh.
Which I am so sensitive about because I think this was my calling that I missed as a young person. I would have been a great play-by-play announcer for hockey. And these guys, Rycroft and Moser, I think they're just the most relentless homers, and it is ruining the games for me. I don't need constant apologizing for the home team's flubs and constant attacking the opponents. I want just analysis and context and insight, and the virtuosic use of language is what I appreciate in an announcer, and I don't think these guys have it.
Turn it off and then just turn on the radio, guys. Maybe. So just watch, and then whoever does it for Altitude on the radio maybe is different.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't think of try that.
Why don't you learn Spanish and listen to it in Spanish?
I wonder if they have that.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. It wouldn't impact with Altitude. If you get your viewing of the Avalanche through alternate means, sometimes you get an in-stadium feed or you get a feed from another state where you have different announcers. But that's
other options.
You want to talk about? You're going to get letters. No, I feel like on this take,
Hey,
there's a lot of people that like the Altitude.
I think there are. I think some people. It's just like a different preference. I don't want to be told how to feel. I want to just be given the information. That's me. I think other people maybe like feeling like, oh, the announcers are fans with me. But that's not what I want.
There's a play-by-play guy.
Yeah.
And then there's a color guy. And the color guy, his whole thing is to tell you how he feels. And you can feel any type of way you want to, but his whole thing is to be like, that was bad, that was good.
Yeah,
really enjoyed. No?
Too much homerism for me.
Too much homerism, huh?
Yeah. It's ruining the games. I don't like it.
You could also just press mute. You could listen to a Tyler, the Creator album while you're watching.
Maybe. Maybe. All right, let's move on to wins. Either you want to start with a win?
I will.
Go ahead.
Houston Lake Park and Athmar Park just got a brand new playground, and it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's huge. There's tons of space. Some aspects of it are accessible. It's great. And I want to shout out Parks and Rec. I spend a lot of time in parks having a kid, and we have some of the best playgrounds I've ever seen. And Houston Lake's new one is no exception. So
Houston Lakes? Where is this?
It's in Athmar Park. It's trying to think. It's off of Federal, maybe Mississippi-ish. I don't know. I just go there. I know where it is, but it's it's in the middle of Athmar Park. It's like the lake. There's a lot of beautiful houses around it actually too. But it's 5 minutes from my house, and I have some friends that live right there, and it's just a great meetup spot. But they just redid the playground, and if you haven't been there in a couple years, it's beautiful.
I love that. They've been redoing a lot of playgrounds lately.
I love our parks. I think we do such a great job. And one of those things is our playgrounds rule. So go check it out.
Good parks. I'll go next, and then you can wrap us up, Joshua. Sure. My win, this was a win. And then I saw this other story about Union Station and the bus terminal that was really sad. So it's a sort of a win, but was just this horrible incident on Monday where a woman was shot in
Just
a dispute.
a bystander.
Yeah, and it's Denver Post reported yesterday that it looks like she
not gonna make
may
it.
not survive,
Yeah.
which is just horrible. I mean, and it's the situation with crime down in the bus terminal and the underneath it's been rough for a few years, but the win part of it was that there's some indication that it's gotten a lot better since RTD implemented new security measures a few years ago. They hired new officers. They've been doing more consistent patrols, upgraded lighting, installed more cameras, et cetera. And this week, RTD shared data showing a 60% drop in security-related calls from the bus terminal.
That is fantastic.
That's great.
Because it is also the police officers that they have down there. It's community policing, and it's much more like building relationships with the people that are down there regularly, as opposed to like, come on, get out of here, get out of here. There is a lot more. I'm broke. I've been using RTD, been going to Union Station for a long time, pre-pandemic, through the pandemic, and then post-pandemic. And during the pandemic, it was a tough place to be. Just a lot of people with blankets over them doing stuff. And it's markedly feels more safe.
Yeah, I agree. Living down there, I live like a block from there right now. And I have to say, I kind of get why the problem happens because I don't ever go down there. I walk around Union Station all the time in the neighborhood, but I never go down to the bus terminal.
I don't. There's no vending down there at all. There's no like hot dog guys or like anything like that. It feels kind of eerie. It's like people waiting for the Greyhound bus, and then there's people waiting for the Boulder bus, and then there's just randos sometimes, people that use it. But it's one of the weirdest like central hubs for public transportations I've ever been a part of. I like the yellow towel, but
Anyway, that was my win. Joshua, how about you?
Me? This one I'm gonna be a fake fan, but Kent Mormon? Monkman, there it is. Kent Monkman. I've heard so much positive stuff about Kent Monkman's new exhibit at the Denver Art Museum. I haven't seen it yet, but I do want to really bad because his stuff that's a part of the permanent collection at the Denver Art Museum has always been some of my favorite stuff. It's native, it's gay, but the use of light and just the grandeur, how large his canvases are, and how much detail he's put in the entire thing is always. And then just there's almost like a power in terms of the way he puts these gay native you can tell they have such main character energy and sort of how he uses like that dynamic of native and colonizer, and then just the natural beauty of like things being in harmony. I'm gonna see it probably in the next like couple days. I encourage you to stop by the Denver Art Museum, check it out. I will say all the native artists in the Denver area are just. I've never seen somebody like come into the scene and see just big eyes, like anime eyes, just big, just so excited that he's here, and then also just an opportunity to make that connection. It's been really cool.
You can see the imagery online, right? Yeah. But in person, it's crazy. These paintings are massive, and like you said, like the light and the color and what's going on in them. I had to kind of rush through there because I was there at the end, and I was only in there for 40 minutes. I could have spent 3 hours in there. It's so beautiful, and the stories that he's telling is like he's like retelling history from the native perspective. And it, like I said at the beginning, it's kind of campy and like it's fun, and then you turn this corner and it gets very just like so serious. But there's so much emotion that happens throughout that exhibit, and it just stuck with me. I'm excited for you to see it and to hear what you think.
Can't wait.
It's beautiful.
Well, that's the show.
Yeah, come on, we did it again.
Done. Podcast done.
But before we go, we have one last pitch for our spring membership campaign. This is the actual last time. So if you have not signed up yet, please do at membership.citycast.fm. I don't know what you've been waiting for. I mean, if it's taken this long and you've been on the fence,
can we guilt you at this point?
There's so many reasons to sign up.
Please.
The ad-free feed, the mug, the member events.
Supporting us. Doing what we do every day.
Just a way to say like, hey, I think this makes Denver a better place, and that matters to me.
Oh, wow. That hit me right here.
Kind of hit me as I was saying it. I didn't think it was going to.
I'm about to cry, man. Like somebody just threw some trash on the ground. Like that's
like Dottie gave you a ticket or something.
Oh wait, well it's not.
Sorry, that's sensitive.
Whose side are you on?
I don't know what side I'm on.
Are you pro Jeep?
Spring membership campaign is almost over. It's just $10 a month. You get that nice mug. You get all the stuff we've been talking about. Sign up now, membership.citycast.fm.
And 5 of you are going to get free Jersey mics from Paul.
You just keep upping it.
That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. Our producers this week were Olivia Jewel Love, Natalie Rivera, and me, Paul Caroli. Adam Sage edits the video for YouTube. Thanks, Jacob and Nick of Dude IDK Studios, where we film these Friday episodes. Thanks, guys. McKenna Harford writes our morning newsletter, Hey Denver. Abby Madigan runs our social media. Bree Davis is our host. Our music is by Los Mocochetes with additional mixing by Tyler Lindgren. If you haven't already, subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at CityCast Denver, and tell Kent Monkman about us the next time you see us. You can sign up.
I exist, please. Just be like, hey, there's this loud native in Denver.
You can sign up for our daily newsletter and learn more about us at denver.citycast.fm. Sign up to become a member at membership.citycast.fm. Please do it right now. Joshua, Bree, thanks so much for joining me today.
My pleasure. Yeah. Hey, doing Bad Indian on... No, wait. No, I'm not. What am I... what I'm plugging?
Friday night. Joshua's doing a show Friday night. His new show, Dead Man Talking. He's warming up for the Edinburgh Fringe Fest.
Tonight?
Yeah, Friday.
Friday night. Check out First Friday and then head over to...
on Sunday, See Film Center for Series Fest doing Bad Indian, the documentary. Yeah, 1 p.m.
Oh, also, you can go see my husband at the Bluebird on Friday night.
Ooh.
Wheelchair sports camps playing with Deerhoof.
Let's go.
Oh, that's good billing. We'll have links to all that and more in the show notes. Bye.
Bye.